Wow, Hollywood is known for notorious cheating scandals, but these disloyal husbands crossed the line by a big shot. And all we can say to these bad boyfriends and husbands is, we're better off without you. Check out the rankings of the craziest cheating scandals that are so bizarre that they're hard to forget. Number 10, Gordon Ramsay and Tana Ramsay. Ramsay? No way! In 2007, the Ramsays were named Celebrity Family of the Year. Gordon has been married for 23 years and has 4 kids, so we absolutely didn't see these allegations of infidelity coming. Sarah Simmons, his alleged mistress, claimed she had an affair with the famous chef for 7 years. She even wrote a book, Having an Affair: Handbook for the Other Woman. Now she's believed to be the ex-mistress, calling herself an infidelity analyst. Well, that was not on our career orientation test in school. Ha!
If you act more like your husband's mistress, you are minimizing the chances that he will cheat on you.
Gordon Ramsay remained silent about the allegations, but the question that bothers many people is, if he was slandered, why didn't he sue Sarah? We'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments below. Ramsay made a joke once, saying, "Come on though, if I was really going to cheat, it wouldn't be with a complete stranger." He fired this in response to Sarah's suggestion that their affair saved his marriage to Tana. My relationship with Gordon is probably the reason their 12-year marriage has lasted this long. A mistress keeps a marriage going. I bet there are some people out there who won't agree with that.
She said, "I've never been a mistress, my dear. I've never had my bills paid. I was the other woman."
Even though the affair allegations have never been confirmed by the Ramsays, due to the whirl of speculation, it's our number 10. Number 9, Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter. Mr. and Mrs. Mad Hatter have been known for their extravagant relationship of 13 years. For God's sake, they bought 2 houses next to each other with the joined hallway so they could live separately. The phrase, "cannot live under one roof," now acquires new meaning. Perhaps having a little bit of extra room was taken literally when it comes to Tim Burton and his marriage. In 2015, he was caught on camera kissing a mysterious blonde in a dark alley. Helena dismissed the rumors of cheating, calling it absolute nonsense. But the couple broke up a year later, stating it was an amicable split. Helena said, "You go through massive grief. It is the death of a relationship, so it's utterly bewildering. Your identity, everything changes." Number 8, Hugh Grant and Liz Hurley. The 58-year-old star of a very English scandal has gone through a real-life sexual scandal more than 20 years ago. Yep, everybody would have probably forgotten about it some years later if not for the epic disgracefulness of the story. 8 years of marriage to gorgeous actress and model Liz Hurley did not stop Grant from paying $60 to the sex worker Divine Brown. While having fun in the car, the two got arrested, and eventually the news went viral right away. Hugh was quick to release a statement of regret, but the media was much more interested to go after another party. Brown was paid $1,000 to give an interview, where she claimed that Grant told her, "I always wanted to sleep with a black woman. That's my fantasy." Grant had to pay a $1,000 fine for lewd conduct in a public space, and the fine was paid to an AIDS education program. Unbelievably, Liz stayed with Grant after the incident, but they broke up 4 years later for other reasons. One more crazy fact is that Hugh is the godfather to one of his ex-wife's babies that she had with businessman Steve Bing.
What the hell were you thinking?
Number 7, Jude Law and Sienna Miller. Yep, Jude, Nanny Lover Law was one of the greatest disappointments in Hollywood. Sexy young pop is not a sanctifier after all. Jude Law and Sienna Miller fell in love on the set of Alfie, where ironically Law played an uncaring womanizer. It feels like Jude had been madly in love with Miller in 2004, when 7 months later he was already issuing an apology, saying he was deeply ashamed and upset. Of course he was. He was caught with the goods in bed with his baby's nanny. Eventually the couple broke up, but reconciled 5 years later. But their relationship didn't work that time either. However, the story did not end there. Sienna's phone was hacked, and a voicemail she left for Daniel Craig, while still dating Law, was leaked. The message with Sienna saying, "I love you" to the James Bond star caused news headlines about the love triangle between Law, his Road to Perdition co-star Craig, and Sienna. Miller alleged that the phrase was taken out of context and did not mean anything romantic. Anyways, Law now has 3 kids from his first ex-wife Sadie Frost and 2 kids with his ex-girlfriends. Number 6, Jesse James and Sandra Bullock. Jesse James is more famous for cheating on the Oscar-winning actress than for marrying her. In fact, his dating history is much darker than you can imagine. Before Bullock, he was married to Carla James, and before that, a porn star named Janine Lindemulder. He seems like even more of a jerk now because he doesn't publicly acknowledge one of his marriages, claiming to have only been married 3 times. As James said, the first one James doesn't count because I was 20 when I got with her and she was 30. Isn't that kind of bad? Like, my daughter's 22 right now, and I imagine if some 30-year-old dude came around, I'd be like, no. We don't want to point any fingers, but he'd better also worry that she doesn't end up with a pathological cheater. He admitted to cheating on Sandra after 5 years of marriage, making a statement a year ago. Yeah, I did cheat on my wife, yeah. In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life. It's like people love to see you fall, and the further you get, the higher you get, the more they love it. More like a desperate attempt from a delisted star to get back into the spotlight. James later got engaged to tattoo artist Kate Von D, but was accused of cheating on her with 19 other girls. As Kate wrote on Facebook, "Today I encountered the 19th girl to add to the list of people Jesse cheated on me with during this last year. Thank you, Jesse James." As you may have already guessed, Kate left Jesse for good. Man, it seems like he cannot keep his downstairs parts in his pants. He's now married to a drag racer named Alexis DeJoria and her billion-dollar bank account. You won't believe it, he hasn't learnt his lesson. Hairstylist Mila Harris told In Touch magazine about the racy messages with erotic context that she was exchanging with James. Although the relationship did not go further than those nudes on the phone. That's a huge achievement for James. As they say, disappointed but not surprised. Number 5. Mel Gibson and Robin Moore. We haven't heard of Mel Gibson for a while, that's true. The last time he made a splash in the news was not for a film production, but because of his super expensive divorce settlement. Gibson handed over a half of his fortune when he settled for $425 million. After 28 years of marriage and 7 kids, Mel Gibson cheated on his wife Robin Moore with Russian singer Oksana Grigorieva, who got pregnant. But their union did not last for more than a year. Oksana was going to receive $15 million in a domestic abuse settlement against Mel. But since she released a recording of Gibson verbally abusing her, violating a confidentiality agreement, she was paid only $250,000. According to TMZ, Mel did admit to slapping Oksana once. "I slapped Oksana one time with an open hand in an attempt to bring her back to reality. I did not slap her hard. I was just trying to shock her so that she would stop screaming, continuing shaking baby Lucia back and forth." But according to Oksana, Gibson is trying to hide the fact that he's been abusive. "I've been diagnosed with PTSD due to domestic violence and the protracted, expensive, and difficult paternity battle I had to endure." 63-year-old Gibson has moved on already, dating 28-year-old Rosalind Ross, with whom he welcomed a baby boy. Number 4. Eva Longoria and Tony Parker. You know her very well from the series Desperate Housewives. What you may not know is that Gabby's discovery of her husband Carlos having an affair seemed like deja vu for Eva. She had been married to Tony Parker for 4 years before she found the sexy text messages from another woman on his phone. What makes it worse is that woman, according to Eva, was Erin Berry. At that time, she was the wife of Tony Parker's teammate, NBA basketball star Brent Berry. Ouch. So he betrayed not just his wife, but a team member. Looks like a three-pointer shot. Both Eva and the other woman's husband filed for divorce soon after. Number 3. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. It's been almost 20 years since Arnold Schwarzenegger cheated on his wife Maria Shriver. But the truth came out only 8 years ago, and the details are pretty shocking. It all came to light just the day after he left the California governor's office and confirmed he had a romance with the family maid and has a son, who was already 14 at that time. During Schwarzenegger's campaign for governor, several women claimed he sexually harassed them at various points in his career. His wife Maria was standing next to her husband, defending him while having no idea that he was hiding the huge secret of infidelity from her. Turns out Maria delivered their younger child just a week before the maid did, meaning the two got pregnant at the same time. After leaving the governor's office, I told my wife about this event, which occurred over a decade ago. Maria and their 4 kids were heartbroken to hear that after 25 years of marriage. She got divorced from Schwarzenegger, but he has been taking care of all of his children through all this time. As his oldest daughter said, "My parents were very, very big on making sure that we remained a family unit no matter what happened, and they did a really good job of that." Well, at least he admitted to his mistake and tried to fix it for all the parties involved. What do you think about it? Number 2. Kevin Hart and Aniko Parrish. It's not long ago that Kevin Hart was involved in an Oscars scandal, but it looks like a minor mistake in comparison to the knives he plunged into his wives' backs.
Lying will ruin your life. Lying will ruin your goddamn life. Lying ruined my marriage.
Too bad he didn't learn his lesson. Once a cheater, always a cheater seems to ring true with this one. Kevin's first wife, Tori, with whom he has 2 kids, says he was cheating on her with his current wife, Aniko. He made a stand-up show about his cheating, without realizing how hard it could be for his ex and kids to hear. Was that fair to them? Aniko and Kevin had been married for just a year when allegations of cheating were brought to the table. Hart denied betraying his pregnant wife, but issued an apology to his family on his Instagram page. Only after Radar Online published pictures of him in a car with a model and a sex tape with another woman at a Las Vegas hotel that got leaked on the internet. So he basically admitted to his faults after he got completely busted. However, the couple didn't split up.
Yes, people, I cheated. Am I ashamed of it? No, I'm not. Do I wish that I could take it back? No, I don't.
Doesn't seem like he's too sorry after all. Number 1. Woody Allen and Mia Farrow. You've definitely heard of it, but the story is a lot creepier than you can imagine. Woody Allen is now 83 years old, and he has been married 3 times. His partner of 12 years, Mia, had 7 kids from her previous marriage, including 4 adopted kids. One of them happened to be Allen's future wife, Soon-Yi Previn. When Soon-Yi was 22, Mia found nude photos of her at Allen's home and was absolutely shocked to hear Woody confirm that they had sex. Who wouldn't be shocked to hear that? It must be unbearable to hear that your partner cheated on you with your daughter. Woody Allen's defense for sleeping with his daughter was that he never actually fathered her. He was too busy with his work and not spending time raising her. But when Soon-Yi was in high school, he started to pay more attention to her and encouraged her dream of becoming a model by taking pictures of her. As he admitted himself, "I thought it would just be a fling." Mia found these nude pictures with Soon-Yi's legs open and said, "I felt like I was looking straight into the face of pure evil." She was furious and slapped her daughter a couple of times, though Soon-Yi says her mother went even further by breaking a chair on her back. Allen was caught molesting his younger daughter some years earlier, when the babysitter saw his 7-year-old daughter Dylan on his lap, face down and not wearing any clothes.
I want to speak out, literally.
All we can say to these unfaithful lovers is, good riddance. These stories teach us one thing: life goes on, and it's much better without a cheater. Thanks for watching. Check out these other great stories from OSSA, and subscribe for new videos about your favorite stars.